Is up, YouTube Nation? This is Kelly Corner coming at ya. I guess it's not just YouTube Nation because anyone can find these videos. So let me start again. Hello world. I figured I should probably introduce myself as I've made some recent vlogs and you have no idea why. My name's Kelly. Welcome to my channel. I'm married to one of the best men in the world, Kenneth, aka Dad's a Gamer, DADSXAXGAMER for all you YouTubers. You should check out his channel. He has some good videos out there. Hell, he even has more views and subscribers in the first week of this than any of us had anticipated. Oh my God, listen to me. He's gotten a lot of great feedback and a lot of encouragement, so he must be doing something right. I also have 4 of the best kids a mother could ask for. And you can find a few videos, some of them on my channel. I think there's 2 videos that have them, maybe 3, I'm not sure. I guess now let me get to the point of all this. I'm just going to say up front that not all my vlogs are going to be like this one here. They're not going to be this long either, I promise. Like, this is going to be the longest one, I'm pretty sure. And I apologize now if I bore you, but I just want to be honest. I'm not exactly sure what all I'm going to cover on my page because this is just a learning experience for me, and I don't know, maybe you can help me out, I can help you out, we'll help each other. So please like and subscribe below because sometimes I can capture life at its best, the raw and unedited version of reality. But this is my introduction. This is me. So here goes nothing. Recently, life decided to hand me like an entire bag of lemons, like not just one, but like an entire bag of these son of a guns. Back in September, I was diagnosed with Addison's disease. I suffered what was called an adrenal crisis, and I almost died. I had no idea just how close to death I was until the look of horror on the doctor's face when my blood work came back. She was amazed I was even conscious. My cortisol levels were at a mere 0.8, and anything less than 20 and you're in rough shape. My husband, along with her and many other doctors on the floor, had no idea how I was even functioning. To tell you the truth, I'm not even sure how I was. I just knew I didn't feel right. I knew that something was wrong. I remember sitting in the hospital bed and tears rolling down my pale porcelain-looking face, feeling as each drop felt like it was another drop of me that was leaving my body. Like I was losing who I was and all that I am with every tear that fell. And every time I ran to the bathroom, emptying not just the contents of my stomach, but more of who I was into the toilet, I cried out. Not because of the pain that was writhing all throughout my body, but because I knew. I knew something was wrong. My husband, bless his soul, he's not a hospital person. He never really has been. And it completely surprised me when he stayed there the entire time. That in itself should have told me how bad off I was. But with every day that passed and every test they ran, I knew it was only a matter of time before they found the horrible, ugly beast that was eating me from the inside out. They had me in an isolation room, and all the visitors that were supposed to be wearing these like banana yellow paper thin gowns and It's like they were supposed to protect them from whatever was going on with me. Like a piece of paper. It reminded me of like tissue paper. You know, no piece of paper could prepare them for how much my world was going to change. That piece of paper was a false sense of security. It's just like a lock on a door. You know, if something or someone wants in bad enough, it'll find a way. And that's exactly what happened. I thought I had all my doors in my body locked up tightly so nobody could get in or nothing could get in. And somehow, Addison's found its way into me. And this disease has not only invaded my body, but my mind, my heart, and my soul as well. It's stolen from me almost everything in every literal sense of the term. Because of this disease, I sold off piece by piece of lifetime of memories, blood, sweat, and tears to help pay for my medical treatments. It's stolen all the good times that I used to share with my kids. Because there are days that I can't even get out of bed because of the pain. But I'll get into all that later. Back to where I was. So, I'm in the hospital, getting diagnosed with Addison's, and I remember one night in particular, I was drifting in and out of consciousness, and you know, at first I thought I was dreaming because the peace that I felt blanketed over my body. I wasn't scared and I wasn't angry. I wasn't in fear. I just felt peace when I finally did drift to sleep. But before falling asleep that night, as I was laying there late at night as my husband was asleep in the chair next to me, all I could do was stare and take in all that I could. And I remember the moon. It was big, bright, just lighting the world, blanketing it with its lovely glow of its shallow but yet bright light. And I remember as the moon fought with the clouds and then the trees to allow its beautiful shine to come through. And then its light peeked in through the window, casting the most angelic hues of white and silver upon my husband. And I found myself mad at myself because I didn't want to leave him to deal with this on his own, mad at the world, and even at times I found myself mad at God. I remember saying over and over in my mind and under my breath, trying carefully not to wake him, how unfair it was. I asked all the why me's, why now's. I went over and over in my mind everything that's happened in my life to try to justify what I was going through and what I had to face. And I just wanted to find a reason that it was okay. And after some time, the moon was no longer shining through the window, and I was left in darkness. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll let you in on a little secret. Even though I am a grown woman, I'm still afraid of the dark. But it was this time that I felt comfort in the darkness. It's like all my senses came alive. You know, they woke up. I was sitting there, and I could hear off in the distance one of the nurses asking about coffee. And then, like a few moments later, my nose could smell the strong aroma sent off by like this freshly brewed coffee. And the smell was like so great that it seemed as if I could like almost taste it. You know, my mouth was watering, and I remember the taste of the coffee that my husband prepares for me every morning. And I'm telling you, like, literally, I could, like, almost taste the caramel macchiato Dunkin' Donuts coffee. And, like, I got lost in the moment for a moment, remembering and recalling all that this man has done for me and our kids and our family over the years. You know, he's rough around the edges, and it's only because of all the strength. My bad. Getting a little emotional. It's getting the best of me. But my husband, he's a little rough around the edges, and that's because of all the stones that have been thrown at him for things that don't even make sense. And he's using those stones not to sharpen his edges like most would think. He's using them to chip away at all the bad that was put upon him. And he is molding himself and making himself into the man that he was always meant to be. The sense of touch was also great that night. As I leaned over to where I remembered my husband was last, you know, I felt around. I found his head. I leaned over, placed my hand upon his head, and I kissed his head. And as I touched his skin and I kissed his head, not only did I experience it, but he did too. Got goosebumps at the same time. And I could feel these tiny little bumps of excitement. And it was in that moment that I realized that whether he be awake or he be asleep, I do something to this man. Consciously or unconsciously, he knew and he could sense me there as well. I remember stroking him, staring at his face. I gently placed my hand on his trying not to get emotional. Blah! But staring at his face, I gently placed my hand on him and slowly touched and felt my way down his head to his shoulders, finding then his arm. And, you know, I remember as I'm stroking down his arm, his hairs that were on his arm were tickling the tips of my fingers. And I remember giggling, you know, in silence. And then my hand found his, and suddenly and unexpectedly, he grasped my hand, pulling it close and rolling over in the chair, still asleep, pulling my hand close to his chest, making sure it was tucked up close to him next to his heart. And it's then when I made my peace. I knew that in that moment that there may be things in my life that I have not done to the best of my ability, but I knew that this was one thing that I knew I did right. I knew I gave and loved this man wholeheartedly, unconditionally, and irrevocably. I knew that I gave him his peace and his strength. I knew that I was his balance. And comforted by that thought, I drifted off to sleep in the darkness, one hand intertwined, tucked closely to his heart. The other hand placed gently on his arm, lightly stroking the hairs that tickled the tips of my fingers, drifting slowly into sleep. That's the night I made peace with what I didn't even know I was going to face. I just knew that whatever it was, I was going to face it. And I was going to face it head on. And I knew I wasn't going to be standing alone. I knew that whatever this was, that it was going to take all my faith and all my will, every bit of strength I could find within myself, and the strength provided by the ones that loved me and supported me. And a few days later, after many tests, CAT scans, colonoscopy, endoscopy, ultrasounds, blood work, you name it, they picked, prodded, poked, they did everything that they had to do. And it was found out that I had gastroparesis, which it's very manageable, and that I also had a very rare disorder called Addison's disease. And I was told all of this in the few minutes that the endocrinologist had with me because I was in the process of being discharged. The look of horror on her face when she found out the hospitalist discharged me rather than following proper protocol spoke volumes. It the look, she knew that I needed to, she knew I needed to be in the hospital and that I was in rough shape. And she looked at me and she's like, you need to go back downstairs to the ER and get readmitted for this. And I was like, you can't be serious, you know? She looked at me and my husband and said, well, then I have very limited time to tell you about this disease that is lifelong and incurable. Lifelong and incurable. My husband and I looked at each other and then back at her, and she began explaining everything. She told me that she's never seen someone even conscious with cortisol levels that low. And I'm sure 99.99% of you have no idea what Addison's disease is. So allow me to give you like the shortened, it's still long, but still shortened version of it. Everyone has these tiny little things that like sit up on top of your kidneys. Yeah. Mine opted out for early retirement. They decided they would much rather sit there and look pretty than be hard at work keeping me alive. The role of the adrenal glands is of great importance. It's a part of the endocrine system and it's responsible for producing the stress hormone called cortisol. Every cell in the body has cortisol receptors, so it can have a lot of different actions depending on which sort of cells that it's acting upon. You see whenever your body is under any form of stress, whether it be physically, emotionally, mentally, an illness, you know, any type of stress, big, little, small, it doesn't matter, any type of stress. Cortisol is sent to your organs and your body to calm it down. And without that, your body freaks out and it attacks itself. It attacks like the vital organs, and in my case, I'm that lucky 1% that it attacked its organs. And it's also responsible for regulating your metabolism, your blood pressure. Your insulin is also controlled by maintaining the constant plasma glucose. It controls your immune system response, and without it, my body is always inflamed in one area or another. So I am constantly in some type of pain, whether it be joint pain, muscle pain, something. Pain from my organs literally eating themselves. It doesn't matter. It also acts on influencing memory formation because all the cells communicate, and the lack thereof means just that, a lack thereof what's needed to help with memory formation. It's also responsible for controlling the salt-water balance in the body, hence influencing the blood pressure. Without it, or low levels, it causes dizziness, extreme fatigue, weight loss, muscle weakness, mood changes, darkening of the regions of the skin, pain in the joints and the muscles. It does everything. I'm like, how did I not ever hear of this before? How did I not know of this before? If it's responsible for this much of like what goes on in your life, how do people not know about this? It's essential for life. It enables us to adapt to external and internal stressors that are going on. It stimulates, I'm totally going to pronounce this wrong, I already know it, but it stimulates the gluconeogenesis, which is the creation of glucose to ensure an adequate fuel supply. And without it, it will cause the most unrelenting fatigue, where I cannot get out of bed, I can't move, I can't function. It's absolutely horrible. It's horrible. There's actually some elite athletes out there that have used cortisol-like drugs to try to enhance their performance. And here I am, just trying to put enough in my body to get by, and these athletes, they get paid millions, are buying up all the cortisol that I need. Lucky me. But anyways, if you don't get an adequate amount of rest to allow your cortisol levels to rise, it can and will cause a sudden drop, and you'll experience like extreme pain all throughout the body. Your muscles, your joints, they all hurt so bad. I have good days and I have bad days. Really bad days usually follow really good days. Perfect example, last week It was like Wednesday or Thursday. I woke up and I felt, really good. And I told my husband, I was like, I'm going to go to work with you today. We own our own business. I was like, I'm going to go to work with you today. And, going to plug our business real quick. Mo Gaines. Find us on Facebook. MOWGAINS. That's right. Mo Gaines, baby. Anyways, we had a really good day that day. We were laughing and like BSing all day. It was a great day all in all. Felt great, and we got a lot of good things that day. One of the best items, that we got that day, though. That's a whole nother conversation, and you can find that on my page titled "Scrapping with Dad's a Gamer." It'll go over exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. It's good times. But that, like I said, that was like Wednesday or Thursday of last week, and by Friday, I landed myself in the hospital from my body depleting all the cortisol to do just average, everyday things, Do you know how bad that sucks? That I can't even do the simplest of things without my body trying to give out on me. Like every day is a struggle, and even though I have to fight with myself every day just to get out of bed, I do. I keep pushing. I make the conscious decision every day to keep trying, to keep pushing, because that's who I am. It's who I am, and it's who I will always be. 4 weeks after my discharge, after being diagnosed with Addison's, I had some blood work done, and it prompted my doctor to order an ultrasound of the upper quadrant of the abdomen, which is like the spleen, the gallbladder, the liver, the pancreas, the kidneys. Probably forgetting something. But yeah. After that, getting the results of that is where I say the driver of the lemon delivery truck decided to drop his whole entire load of them little yellow sons of bitches right on top of me. I've had a little spot, teeny tiny spot, on my liver, on the right lobe of my liver, for a while now. It was contained, not growing, and it seemed as if it was nothing to worry about until now. Now, when I'm relearning how to live with Addison's disease, I am also trying to process the fact that what was supposed to be a small, simple cyst is now, according to the ultrasound, a huge, complicated, complex cystic mass that has now grown and spread from the right lobe of my liver into the left. It's invaded the left lobe. My doctor and the radiologist that read the report says it's indicative of cancer. But the doctor that just treated me, 2 days ago in the hospital, says that what the ultrasound says is incorrect, and that my doctor's incorrect, and it's just like a whole bunch of cysts all over my liver. So now I'm like, WTF, Who do I believe? But the doctor that also told me it was nothing is the same doctor that didn't even want to allow me to have my hydrocortisone while I was in the hospital. I prescribed 30 milligrams of hydrocortisone to take daily for my Addison's disease, 20 milligrams in the morning, 10 milligrams at night. And he wasn't comfortable with that because he didn't know what Addison's disease was. He's a doctor, and he did not even know what this was. That's how rare this disease is. He talked to a couple other doctors on the floor and finally figured out like exactly what it was, and that's when he was like, okay, yeah, I can give you your hydrocortisone. Like, he realized in that moment how serious like that was. But yeah, because of what he's trying to tell me about my liver, and because of what my doctor and the ultrasound says, I don't know where to go from here. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I mean, a liver biopsy is what everybody wants. I'm a little scared because their liver biopsies carry great risks, and I was also told that if it was liver cancer, that because of the area and where it's invaded, both the right and the left parts of my liver around the one, I guess, important part that's there, that there wouldn't be enough liver left over to like regenerate itself, so then I would then have to have a liver transplant. which leaves me in a whole nother like area, because with Addison's disease, you're not really supposed to have surgery because your body can't handle it. That's another one of the stressors I was talking about. Um, it it takes a lot out of you, and I don't know. Now I'm stuck here, and I don't know what to do. And I'm making videos and probably looking like a damn fool. And I apologize that you've now spent 25 minutes listening to me ramble on about my fears. Oh man. So I have my fair share of medical knowledge. I'm no doctor, but I know a lot more than the average person. I was in home health care for a long time, along with helping my father with all of his illnesses, which were many, by the way. You name it, he had it. So here we are. I just got out of the hospital late last night. Just wanted to sleep when I got home, or I would have done this last night. My body just needed some time. I was diagnosed on September 15th with Addison's, and here it is almost 2 months later, and I've yet to be able to meet with a specialist in order to maintain my life. Before going into the hospital this time, I was able to get some insurance things taken care of, I think. Fingers crossed, everybody, come on. And hopefully, with those changes, that by the end of this month I can begin getting the much needed treatments that I need. I still have to come up with a lot of money monthly, and even though I have insurance, I make sure the bills are paid first, and that there's never a lot left over, because there are costs that I try to budget in, the unexpected things that happen. It's called life. My husband started a GoFundMe account, and it was about 7, 8 weeks ago, and we were blessed to receive $540 from different family members, friends, some strangers. Maybe with my channel, my husband's channel, we can find and meet new people, make new connections that can either help us by introducing, like me to people with Addison's, or, helping me find people, that want to show their support through prayer or words of encouragement, or even receiving monetary donations, but it's not necessary. This is my pickle, and it's my dump truck of lemons, so I'm not going to put my burdens on you. But what I will do is maybe I can just use every damn lemon that was dropped on my head, make you the best damn cup of lemonade you've ever had. I won't sell my lemonade to you. I'll give it to you. Because you cared enough to help me remove each and every one of those lemons from my back that was burying me. All I can do now is keep doing exactly what I've been doing, and that's being me. And being the one person that goes out of their way to help fellow man, friend, family, foe. I will continue to fight to live. If you can promise me that you'll appreciate the life that you have. There's people out there, there's drug addicts out there that it completely offends me that they are choosing to do something that will take their life away while I'm sitting here trying to fight for mine daily. Like, it kind of pisses me off in a bad way that I'm fighting for my life as they're wasting theirs away. I don't know. I'll continue to fight. Just promise me this. Don't worry about the bad, because the bad's all over. You'll be able to find bad everywhere you look. It's everywhere. Be the other person. Be the one that finds the good throughout all the bad, because I can promise you there is good. There's a lot of good out there. I've seen it, I've experienced it, I've lived it. And if you can't find the good, then you be that good. Do what's right. Take that step you've always wanted, the one that you've always hesitated. Take that step. Take that leap of faith. Be the one that stands out for all the great that they do, you know? Before you throw out all those clothes that you outgrew or that your kids have outgrown, pack them up. Take them to your local homeless shelter, you know? Go to the Dollar Tree. Spend less than $5, $10. Pick up a toothbrush, toothpaste, soap, brush, comb, laundry bag, some detergent. I like to add in, like, personal handwritten notes. And then pass them out to the homeless man that you pass on your way to work, Let them know that, someone cares, They're people. I care about people. I care about everything. Probably half my problem, but I don't know. Just do something. Be that person. Make that difference, I like to let them know with the personal notes that I write that, that I care. And sometimes it's the simplest actions that mean more to them than, like, all the money in the world. And there's people that go out of their way to avoid these people, These are the people that just a few short decades ago were fighting for your country. The ones that tried to sleep in bunkers as bullets and bombs are going off, Why do you think they're so comfortable sleeping in the street? There's no bullets and bombs going off, but it's like, it's the same. Like, they're comfortable with that because that's what they know. They fought for your rights, and you are choosing to do nothing and walk right by them. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. If you can't see that the need of compassion and respect for fellow man comes into play, then please do not subscribe to my page. Because I want to build a team and a village. Because it takes a village. It costs literally $0 to be a decent human being. There's this guy that I've known for, like, since I was like 15, I think. And he's a great guy, by the way. His name's Emmett. And he's a lot like me in the sense that we're both suffering horrible, stupid diseases. And we were told that we should be on disability and we can't do this and we can't do that, blah, 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 blah. Guess what? We still do this, we still do that. Why? Because we can. Because we want to. We have the will to. We push ourselves to. Giving up is easy. I don't like easy. I don't like easy, and I don't think he does either. But the whole reason for me bringing him up is, like I said, he's a lot like me. Last year, when everyone was doing the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, he decided to challenge others to do what he did. And what he did is he took his daughter out with him and went and bought food, clothes, and toiletry items. And, he took his daughter around, showing her how much what we think is so little means so much to these people, to these homeless people. And, and that's the day that I realized that I was always right about who he was as a human being. We have nothing to give, but we still find a way to make someone's day better. So for all you out there that think that good people don't exist anymore, just have to look a little harder. We're here, I promise you. We're out here. On September 8th, when I was on my way to the hospital during my adrenal crisis, I was in my own medical emergency, and a woman on a motorcycle was hit by a man in a truck. And what do? He's outside. And what do? I jump out of a moving vehicle and try to get to her as fast as I could. And I administered medical attention. And even when the police and firefighters were there, they let me run the show. I thought it was pretty cool. I was like, I'm that awesome. God, it just sounded so vain. I didn't mean it like that. But no, I was proud of myself, dude. Like, I was really proud of myself. I felt like total ass. And I still did what was right. And I was quite impressed with myself. My main goal was to keep her from going into shock, and I was successful at that. Once the ambulance got there, I knew it was time for me to go because I knew that they could take over and they were going to be taking her soon. So I told her, I was like, I gotta go. I'll meet you at the hospital. And, and she had no idea at the time what was going on with me. I don't know this woman, never met her a day in my life. But she had no idea what was going on with me. And as I was walking away, she screamed out. And of course, I hurried back to her. I bent down, grabbed her hand, and I looked her in her eyes. And I explained all that the paramedics were going to do. And I told her, I said I needed her at the hospital. And that I needed to go. And I think then she realized how bad off I really was. And to this day, she calls me her angel. Me and the woman that was on the phone that called 911 and her family and everything to this woman, her name's Kathy. Me and Margaret, I think that's me, Margaret, are her angels. But every time I talk to her, I remind her, and I said, I'm not an angel, just a decent human being living in a world where everyone else is rapidly losing the idea of what being human is. Like I said, it costs $0 to be a good person. And don't ever do something expecting anything in return, because then it's not a selfless act, it's a selfish act. There's a big difference. You don't do it to get something in return, ever. So there you go. Big thanks to all that hung out and watched this entire thing through the end. All 36 minutes of it. I'm sorry. I did not anticipate it taking this long. But there it is. I put it all out there for everyone to know, everyone to see. I know there's a few that did watch this all the way through to the end, and for that, I thank you. Just trying to make the best out of a bad situation, Maybe you know someone that's suffering, in some way, whether it be an illness, the death of someone, an addict that chooses to abuse his right to live while I fight daily for mine. Maybe you know someone that just needs words of encouragement. If so, you'll definitely find them on my page. In my different vlogs and the different things that I have to say, the different things that I do, I'm that guy. Not in the literal sense of term, like I'm not a guy, but, I'm that person. But, I don't know. Until then, YouTube Nation, Facebook friends, stalkers, family, friends, and foe alike, do good, be good. One love.